If you chilling in the bed with nothing to do, get up. It's time for a night with New.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nights with New podcast. I'm your favorite new girl in the weather. Y'all already know that. I did start a new show. Here it is, Lunch Break.
Good game. I'm gonna add a couple of patties. Have a half a stick of margarine. I'm gonna add some onions, add some bell pepper. And you're gonna melt that butter down so it cooks away whether it's cooked or vegetable brown.
Okay, now that this comes to a boil, you can season it to taste.
Really don't burn all that up. I like my gravy kind of thick. If you don't like it this thick, you can add more brown. Taste it. That's good.
Okay, now you don't want to be late for your lunch break. Break is a cooking show that I started to kind of like follow my meatless journey. Y'all know that I stopped eating meat around the beginning of the year. So like if that's something that you're interested in watching, make sure that you check out Lunch Break with New. I'm still having issues with my car. I'm going to be honest with y'all though. I haven't went and talked to anybody else to go and get my car speed about or anything like that. But it's leaking oil really, really bad. In order for me to get around and do what I need to do, I just like keep oil in the car. Like before I get ready to go somewhere, I'll put oil in the car. I've been doing that. I'm going to apologize in advance just in case there's some background noise going on. I normally film my episodes at night, but I have so much to do. I have to work tonight and stuff like that. I'm so sorry. Hopefully these microphones are noise canceling. You won't hear a lot of that in the background. But I do live right off of the main road, so there's a lot of car activity and stuff like that. And also the washers and dryers here are really loud. And so if you do hear anything, it's that. And I hope that it's not going to affect the nature of the episode. I'm so sorry. There was this guy that had came to this furniture store. He was trying to buy some bunk beds. He started asking a whole bunch of crazy questions about like, if he was to purchase like double bunk beds, like how many kids would be able to lay in it, this, that, and the third. It kind of like alerted the people that worked at the furniture store, so they ended up looking him up. And after they looked him up, they realized that he was on the registry. Y'all know what registry I'm talking about. He ended up being 57-year-old Emory Gardner of Fort Worth, Texas, and come to find out, look at his house and stuff like that, the windows are blacked out. He has iron rods going to his windows, so obviously like you can't see inside of the place, you can't see outside of it, and then there's no way for someone to get out if they needed to. The amount of beds that he wanted, it was going to be able to hold like 36 kids or whatnot. So like y'all just pay attention to y'all surroundings, make sure y'all know what's going on. Check the registries often, because you just might you never know who your neighbors are. And it's a lot of situations right now where a lot of children are coming up missing and things like that. And sometimes it'll be situations where those kids are a block away from you and been gone for years, and you just never know. So like, if you see something, say something, y'all. These are the times where you shouldn't mind your business. These are the situations where you should most definitely pay attention to your surroundings, and if you see something, most definitely say something, because you could potentially save the life of an innocent child. There's this gospel singer. He's also, I think, a pastor. His name is Joshua Kegler. He was also like a teacher at a school, and he has been grooming young boys and stuff like that at the school.
Orleans police arrested Kegler for a series of sex crimes involving a minor. According to the arrest affidavit, the case stems from a complaint by the mother of a 16-year-old boy about concerning text messages on her son's cell phone. She described the messages as sexual in nature. The boy told investigators he had been approached by a teacher from Warren Easton Charter High School. The teacher was later identified as Kegler. The boy stated the 38-year-old invited him to his home to smoke marijuana. According to the affidavit, Kegler began paying the boy for sexual activities. Investigators said the 16-year-old objected when things escalated from observing to Kegler making physical contact. The boy reported that all incidents occurred at Kegler's home and that Kegler either personally picked him up and dropped him off or arranged for a rideshare service to transport him. Police said Kegler groomed the boy to perform sexual acts and used money as bait. Warren Easton, in a statement, confirmed Kegler was on the faculty at the high school during the 2024-2025 school year. This individual is no longer employed at the school.
Pay attention to your children. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Especially when you are single mothers. I know sometimes all you ever want is for your child, especially if you are a mother of a son, to have some type of male influence in their life, to have some type of male role model. But you have to really, 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 really use your discernment when it comes to these adults in these situations, because these people out here are literally foul. They are foul, and they take advantage of those situations. A lot of the time when it comes to these predatory ass adults, they love when it's an underprivileged child. They love when it's a child of a single parent. They love when it's a child of a parent that doesn't have like extra amounts of money and stuff like that. And then they end up being a person that you can confide in or to lean on a little bit when it comes to support with your child. And the whole time they targeted you. If somebody is doing something to them, if somebody is saying something to them, touching them, anything, all children are not as forthcoming as this child in this situation and are brave enough to say something is happening, you know? So pay attention to your kids, because trust and believe, even if their words aren't saying anything is happening, their actions will, their body language changes. The things that they do on the day-to-day starts to change, start noticing that their routine gets knocked off, you know, their mood swing changes and things like that. Y'all, please pay attention to your kids, because it's rough out here, especially coaches, people that are clergymen of the church, people that have some type of job within the church, those recreational workers, boys and girls club workers, things like that, big brother programs. Just thoroughly vet who's in the company of your children, because like a lot of the time those be the situations where something is happening to them the most.
So which one of y'all names is Roll 312 on Roblox?
Not me.
Why are you sending this grown man our address? He your friend. How old are you?
38.
38?
Yeah.
Do you know how old she is?
No, I didn't know that's what they want to.
This little girl is only 12 years old.
I just came to play.
You think you finna come in my house and play with my 12-year-old?
No, bro. Said we can do Minecraft and stuff.
You're not.
The 38-year-old man who's been on those video games playing Roblox and Minecraft with children, and he has persuaded that little girl to give him her address, and he showed up at the house. Little did he know her mama was there. The crazy thing about it is, now I'm not gonna lie, he did sound like he was a little mentally delayed, but that's still no excuse. Because I don't care what nobody say. Sometimes I feel like they be weaponizing that incompetence on purpose. He probably ain't even slow-hearted for real. He was just trying to use it just in case, like it was gonna help his case if something was to happen when it comes to him in the law. He's standing right there in her door in the video. His pants are unzipped, and the whole time while the mama was like, no, you're not coming here to play with my baby. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. He was still trying to get in the house anyway. He was still very much so like, oh, I want to come play. I want to come play. Take them tablets out y'all baby's hand. Get y'all kids off them video games and stuff like that, because there are predators out here, y'all. I'm going to keep saying it. People that enjoy the company of children, they know where to find those children. They meet them right where they're at. And we are in the digital age, y'all. So the thing about it is, you think that you're going to see chomos out there hanging around parks. So yes, you still will see them, but they know that they can get on these video games and pretend to be kids. They can get on these video games and pretend to be kids to target your children and stuff like that. Please be careful.
My dad never changed our diapers. He wouldn't change his girl's diapers.
If I had, me and my wife have had that conversation. If I had a daughter, I'm not changing diapers.
Why is that? Because I got a daughter. So why is that?
Me and her agree that it's not something that I need to be doing unless I got her by my. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like you ain't never gonna have a kid by yourself. Like,
I'm not saying that. I'm
you
saying
gonna let her walk around with a diaper?
It's gonna be instances, but on the norm, like. No, I shouldn't be the one putting my daughter in the tub and all of that. No, like
my dad's never washed us up.
They got a mama for that.
We had to we had to freaking wash ourselves up at a young age.
One, because it's that she got to teach you that I can't. I don't got your body parts to be telling you.
So that means that you change all the boys' diapers. Then I shouldn't be touching that either, though.
I didn't. I changed their diapers. Oh. Yeah.
No, I'm just asking. This is just a gender thing. What I'm saying, if it's just
for girls, yes.
Okay,
but not for boys.
It's not the same. Unfortunately, it's just not the same.
First of all, sir, this guy right here is a grade A weirdo. Ain't no way that you can sit there and have a child, a boy or a girl, and you look at them in any type of way outside of them being a child, your child. The only reason why you feel like you shouldn't be changing your daughter's diapers is because you can't see her past her body parts. For you to sit there and have your baby in your arms and could be changing her, giving her a bath or something, and then you look at her in any type of way that's gonna tempt you to want to touch her or whatever the case might be, you weird for that. Because other than that, there's no other reason why you have that thought process. How can anything curricular happen between you and your daughter? That's your daughter. You're the one that's supposed to be protecting her and stuff like that. So how are you gonna sit there? Boy, you weird. You weird for that. And me later, I'm on your ass too. Later, your dad wasn't no trailblazer. Your dad wasn't innovative. He was probably a P-file as well. Either that or they're sitting there using the fact of respectability politics or whatever the case, whatever the word is. Y'all know I don't know the word. Whatever the word is, to try to keep from having to do the work that comes with being a parent. It might not even necessarily be just about being predatory, but just the fact of you as a father feel like you don't have to be the one out here changing diapers and getting them cleaned up. Although I do agree with what the man said about there are certain things that he can't teach his daughters as far as keeping clean when it comes to their body parts. I understand that completely, but still at the same time, you ain't finna convince me that the reason why you don't want to have your child in front of you in that predicament is because it tempts you. And baby girl, your daddy was the same way. Lock both of their asses up. Any woman that agrees with the ideology when it comes to your man not grooming your y'all are ducks. You was a duck and you out here quacking around town or whatever, leaving your fellas around. The thing about it is, if you having a conversation like that with somebody that you're choosing to spend the rest of your life with, and in his case, married, that's really not the man that you should be marrying. It's damn sure ain't the man that you should be having no motherfucking kids with. Lock all y'all asses up.
Now it's time to be honest. My question is, have you ever had a run-in with the law? If so, what happened? What was it about? Let's talk about it. I had a couple of run-ins with the law. I've been arrested twice in my entire life. One time was a real serious situation, and the other time was not. I'm not going to go into too many details in this episode about both those arrests, but I will tell you what happened that led up to me getting arrested. The first time I ever got arrested, I was actually about to chill with this guy. He was on the way to come and chill with me or whatever, and I knew that I had to work that next day. I worked out of town, so I was like, you know what? While he's headed here, I'm gonna go to the gas station real quick, fill my car up and all of that type of stuff. That way in the morning time. Because it's probably gonna be a long night with him, you know what I'm saying? And so in the morning time when it's time for me to get ready to go to work, I can just get up and get myself together and just go. I don't have to make no stops. So as I get to the gas station, this man opens the door for me, telling me, and he was like, after you. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Came in there, I walked in the gas station. I was like, hey, can I get $40 on pump one? I bought a pack of gum, and then I paid for my gas and I walked right out. So the minute I walked out to start heading towards the pump, the same man that opened the door for me walked up on me and identified me or whatever, whatnot. And I was like, what? And he was like, are you this person or whatever? I was like, yeah. And immediately he was like, you're under arrest. Oh my God, what? What? He was like, yeah, you on the arrest, y'all. I'm like, you might want to go and put your hand behind your back. Come on with me. So we finna go. I'm like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? So that was a whole crazy situation with that. Like I said, I'll go into much more details about it on another episode. And then the second time I got arrested, it was literally like, I guess a routine traffic stop. They said I ran a stop sign.
I'm sorry.
I didn't run a stop sign. There was no stop sign there. After that whole thing happened or whatever, I went back and checked. I'm like, there's not a stop sign here at all. Like, I had just kind of got targeted that day, I believe. But they followed me all the way home. So they ended up arresting me in front of my yard, like in my house. That situation was cool. Like, I got arrested, okay, whatever, fine. They took me to jail. I bonded out. And that was it. But those are the two times I've been arrested. Now, the first time I got arrested, I didn't bond out. I had to sit in it. I had to sit. You hear me? But that ended up being a whole long, drawn out situation. Like I said, I'll tell y'all about it another day. But yeah, so tell me about the time that you've been arrested or had a run-in with the law with them, whatnot. I want to hear about it. It's time to hear what had happened. Once again, y'all, if you have a what had happened story, or if you have any questions for me that you might want advice on, be sure to email me at nightsandnew@gmail.com. That is NIGHTSWITHNUE@gmail.com. Keep your emails short and sweet and to the point. That way that I can feature it on the next show. This entire episode has kind of been about like children's safety and stuff like that or whatever. I'm gonna tell y'all about a situation where, something like that was kind of happening to me as well. When it comes to like older people, like preying on children and stuff. So, my daddy had a friend. They worked together. He was like a deacon of the church, well dressed, well groomed, always smelled nice, had a nice place, all those different things. And my parents, when we were growing up, were very strict and stuff like that. And he kind of was like a breath of fresh air when it came to like being around us and stuff. So like anytime he would come over, he would like give me money. Sometimes he would bring like McDonald's, little different things like that or whatever, whatnot. I remember one time like asking him as a child. I remember we was at his house one day, me, my parents, my sisters and stuff like that. And we was over his house, and I remember asking him, like, how come you don't have no wives? I remember asking him that specifically. Mind you, it was just a mind of a child because I knew my parents were married, and every other person I ever seen always had like somebody with them, and with him I didn't see anything like that. And also at his house, I never seen no evidence of a woman at all, like around the house and stuff like that. And so he was like, it's just I haven't found my wife yet. Sometimes it takes other people longer than others and all that type of stuff. And so I went, okay. Well, anyway, fast forward to maybe like a year or so later, I'm now like 13, I think, 12 or 13. And no, I wasn't. I wasn't 12 or 13. I was 14. He ended up getting my cell phone number from me. And so, like, throughout the day and stuff like that, he would text my phone. We would text each other back and forth. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The conversations were innocent. Like, it would literally be like, hey, Nunu, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, nothing, doing homework, or oh, nothing, washing dishes, or oh, nothing, And then either he'll be like, oh, okay. It would literally be like simple stuff like that. But that only went on, us texting each other back and forth went on for like 2 weeks. After those couple of weeks, my dad had busted in on me one day and was like, are you texting such and such? And I was like, yeah, we be texting each other, he be texting me. And my daddy was like, I don't want you texting that man no more. You have no, you a child. He's like, you are a child. You have no business texting no man, no grown up, no man, no other person. If you want to text a grown man, you can text me. I'm your daddy. you text me. If you need to talk to anybody grown about anything, there's no reason why you should be talking to that grown man on that phone. And I was like, okay. And I stopped. Usually that day I stopped. And cause I mean it wasn't no big old thing to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he found out or how he knew we was texting. I still to this day I never asked about it or nothing like that. But ninth grade year I got kicked out of school. So I used to always be at home. But of course, my parents worked. So a lot of times I would be home alone. And so fast forward, one day, um, my daddy friend had came to the house. I was alone. Of course, he was a familiar face. So I opened the door. And some things had happened between us or whatever whatnot. And messed me up. Like after that, I stopped talking. My health started declining. I started feeling real sick and stuff. But now I believe it was all just like anxiety driven or whatever. Just like I used to worry myself so bad it would make me sick. I believe that's what was going on. But like yeah, I really had like my whole life shifted after that, and I never said anything about it. I never said anything about it for 2 years. And then the crazy part about it is like even after that situation had happened, he was still, of course, like a prominent family friend. He was my daddy's friend as well as my mama's friend. So, he would come over for dinner. He would come over for them to watch movies together and stuff like that. And my mood would really shift when he would be there even more. And it used to be so crazy because, like, even when he would be over there hanging with my parents and stuff like that, it seemed like y'all never noticed how I would act when he would come over. Y'all never noticed. Instead of like noticing my behavior, my attitude, my mood would change when that man would be over there and looking at him crazy. I would get in trouble for it because I'm being defiant or I'm being, you know what I'm saying, standoffish or not welcoming. I used to get in trouble for those types of things. And it used to bother me so bad. And like I said, I ended up finally saying something about it like 2 years later. And once I said something, it didn't even, I might have well had not have said anything. I might have well had not have said anything because it just wasn't received well on their end. I got blamed for it also. So fast forward to many, many, many years later, obviously I ended up, walking into womanhood and stuff like that or whatever. And I remember the minute I came out and I started posting like, my girl pictures and stuff like that on like social media, I get this message request from him. And the message request was basically it was an innocent request, but it wasn't an innocent request. But the message itself was innocent. At the time, I did hair, I made wigs and stuff like that. And so he ended up like DMing me, talking about I got a friend that need a wig to be made, like how much it'll be. First, I never responded to him. I blocked him because first of all, the minute you see me with some girl clothes on, you automatically all of a sudden you need a wig for a friend. You don't like women, sir, as far as I'm concerned. You don't have no women friend. You don't have no woman you need no wig made for, as far as I'm concerned. Firstly. Second of all, it's real funny to me, like the minute you see me like this, all of a sudden you reaching out and stuff. That let me know that you've been watching my page all of these years and stuff. I didn't like none of it. I never responded to it. I blocked them on everything. Okay. Well, I didn't block them on everything. I blocked them on there and all that good stuff. But I said all that to say this. Parents, if you are in a situation where your child tells you that something has happened to them or is happening to them, believe your child. Believe them first. Believe them first and investigate it later. That's how I feel about it. Like, the first thing you need to do is to try to remove yourself or your child out of that situation. And then if you feel like you need to go and invest, because I do know that some children be lying. I do know that some people do certain things for attention or whatever the case. But I just feel like believe them first. Don't criminalize them for it. Don't shame them for it. Don't make them feel bad. You know, whenever a little girl come and tell you that something is happening to her, don't call her hiding ass. Don't call her fast. Don't make her feel like she's a whore or nothing like that. If a little boy comes and tells you that something is happening to them, don't call them no punk, no secret, no fake. Don't call them nothing like that. Don't be calling them nothing out of their name to make them feel bad. And also, you need to make sure that you have an environment and created an environment for your children to be open enough to have those conversations with you in general. This goes back to the kitchen table conversations that I be talking about, that I was talking about in my last episode. Kids they hear what you're talking about, they know what you're talking about, they internalize those certain things, and if they hear you have a conversation about certain groups of people or certain types of people or certain types of activities and stuff like that, and they, in their mind, it sounds like it's something bad or something wrong, and then when it happens to them or they end up being a victim to something like that, they don't want you to look at them the same way that they've seen you look at other people, or they don't want to feel the same way they feel like when you say what you said about people that participate in certain things, and now they don't want to come and share with you what has happened to them. You have to create a safe space for your children, y'all, to be able to come and talk to y'all about how they're feeling. That's all that I have. I hope you're having a good night. Good night.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this episode was extremely hard for me to make, and I did end up breaking down as soon as I got finished filming it, and I almost was not even going to air this episode. I was just going to do something completely different. If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, you do not have to go through it alone. There are resources out there. Call 888-373-7888 or text info to 233-733 to get help.